very much to come here tonight. I would like, first of all, to apologize for my English, which is a little bit hesitating. It's also the first time I'm talking in front of so many people. Thank you so much for your support then. Thank you. I would like today to talk about my work, but also to have it in a perspective, in a large perspective of tradition painting, as well as from the Western part, as well as from the Indian part. Of course, I am going to talk about art. I'm going to talk about India, but I just want you to forgive me if I make mistakes. I don't want to do anything judgmental. I don't want to judge anything, but I just want to explain you my own perspectives. So for this, I would like to show you today the painting of Matisse, just presented on the left side, where actually I find it really important. The way he was painting the fishes and the nature around is really simple and efficient. So next slide is actually a portrait of Picasso. We did this portrait in his early work, in his early period of being an artist, and it's quite well defined. It's a lot of work. The face of the man is really clear, and there is a lot of details. But I think Picasso said something. He said something like he took his own life to learn how to draw like a child. So next slide is actually showing a portrait of himself that he did after this period of very detailed work. Yeah. So here really it's quite obvious the way she is painting, and this is really what is interesting me in the actual paintings in Western style. Yeah, so I started to come to India in 2003, but I settled myself between Paris and New Delhi since 3 years. And I first paint, as we said, the people from the streets. So next slide is, well, this is just, you know, the common people that I choose because I came to India and I was living in the streets, and I was living with the everyday people. I was going to the market and all, and it was really important for me to show to art gallery, because I was exhibiting this work, the everyday life faces. So next slide is also about this project, but I'm foreigner. I came with a lot of cliché in my mind, and of course I had this completely wrong cliché about poverty in India is the most important thing, and I escaped from that with just the fact that I live the reality of India. I live like you. I have a house and all. So I wanted to show after another perspective of India. So that's why I pick up this subject, the Maharajas. But again, that was completely close to the cliché that I can have for my own country. The cliché of the Maharajas, of the palaces, of the Orientalism. And with the fact that I meet the people that I paint always, it makes a huge difference. I don't think the clichés are still there, that the high society, the low society. I feel that my work tries to connect more the people who are doing the new India, the modern India, away from the cliché. So we can go for next couple of slides. Yeah, this is a work I've been doing in 2005. Again, also I think we can carry on. This is with this idea I had about Maharajas before living in India. So I was really impressed by the aesthetic aspect of the photographies that you had in the 19th century, who show the Maharajas sitting and all the aesthetic aspect of it. And I tried to make it looking I mean, I use a lot of bright color close to the influences I had from my previous experience in India. But then, I think we can go for next slide. Yeah, so this is again this work that I was doing out of India, just because I had this idea of India. Next, also. So here so this is another work that I made in 1 year later, in 2006, and I used the madras fabric, which is actually the fabric of the lungi, of the dhoti, as well as the shirts, the Indian shirts. For me, that was obvious, and I use it in the background of a traditional Maharajas painting, and it was a way for me to mix the everyday life with the high society. Next slide is the same kind of work, and I play a lot with the details and the motifs. That was a leitmotif in my work. Next one. Yeah, here this painting is also from an old photography from the 19th century, and this is the time where I start to interest in my work of the blank part. On the right side of the dress of the children, you can I think you can see the white point, and it's the empty canvas. It's the first part of the canvas, and this is what I will develop later on in my work. Next slide, please. So this is again 2006 work, and it was more work to tell stories, to explain something. That and then the next work in 2007, this is actually the painting I made in India, and this is where I changed a little bit my perspective. I stopped wanted to say stories about what I can imagine out of the pictures. I wanted to tell about the people that I'm meeting, and I want that my painting to express some as well as the Indian, my own view of India, as well as the personality of the people. Yeah. So this is a work I've been doing in Hyderabad. This is one Begum of Hyderabad. I choose. There is 4 women who accept to sit for me. It's watercolor on paper, and they are all embroidered. So here it's some details of the embroidery work mixing with the painting. This is one of the embroiderers I've been working with. Another Begum from Hyderabad. She's actually the sister of Patodi. Some details of the embroideries. So yeah, I will explain a little bit later on, but I think here in those paintings I was trying, of course, to explain the personality of the people that I was meeting, those ladies, but I was also playing a lot with the motifs and the details, who makes actually the person coming out of a huge, I mean, small flowers or motifs. Okay, so here is actually the portrait I've been doing of an Naxalite, Ghazar, that I met in Hyderabad, and this is why I said that I didn't want to go for a cliché. I pick up the people who can be coming from the old tradition of Maharajas or nobility, but also people who represent somehow the new India. So the India who is mixing as well as tradition, as well as modernity. So Ghazar is I just want to show you the process. I met him at his place. So there was, for example, his banner from one of his campaign. And next slides are actually pictures I've been taking at his place. Yes. And this is the painting right after it. So as I said, I try to put something else than just an image. I try to show the energy that I was communicating, that I live in this time. You know, he was singing, he was dancing for me, and that was really impressive. That was I share something at this exact moment. So the next painting. So this is a photograph of Muzaffar Ali I've taken at his place. This is how I work. So I go to the people's place and I ask them if I can paint them. They agree or not. So if they does, we meet, and again, We speak a little bit. I ask them who they are and what they feel to have in their own portraits, and I try to make a nice photo out of it and a drawing that I do straight away. I also do a watercolor sketch, and after, with all these materials, I go back to my studio in Delhi or in France, and I paint the actual painting, which is there. So this is the process. Again, I think there is some other pictures of the processing with Alik Padamsi. The photos, the sketch that I use a lot, and the painting. Because what is important in the sketching is doesn't matter if I use it really or not in the painting. It's I spend time with the people that I'm meeting, and then I came to know a little bit of the expression, of the smiles, of the eyes or expressions. Nawar Patoudi at his place, a sketch, and the painting. Oh no, sorry. The sister of Nawar Patoudi that I met him through her. So it's everything is connected somehow. I mean, I'm not here for. I'm here because I meet people to people to people, and this is how I work also. It's really important. Her portrait and his portrait. Yeah, they asked me actually, both of them, when I was asking them what they want in the background or how do they feel about a painting, both of them were actually telling me that they want to be surrounded by nature. So I find that interesting that they didn't live in the same city, but they want the same kind of energy around them. Anyway, so next slide is actually painting of my great-great-grandfather. He was a painter as well, and he belongs to the tradition of portraits. And of course, my house was full of portraits painting, and I guess this is also why I'm doing portraits today. I want to say that the court tradition painting, the painting of royalty, of princes or princesses, has been as well a tradition in India as well as a tradition in Europe. And I think I would like to show up this bridge that I do between the two cultures, my own and the new one, the Indian one. And today, right now, I'm going to show you some more slides about where I come from Europe. So Velázquez is a very famous painter from the 17th century. He's from Spain, and he was commissioned by the King of Spain. So he was working with all the court, means the kings and the queens, but as well as the people who were the servants and all around the court. So next slide is showing a portrait of a princess, but I also show you on the right side the way that the simplicity is using the simplicity of the painting, the big. There is no detail in this period of time, and I use a lot this kind of paintings in my own work. This kind of paint, sorry. Next slide. Yeah, I think you can see that the face is not completely clear. It's very undefined, and this is something quite important in my work. Yeah. This is a comparison between Velázquez and Manet. Manet is a French painter from the 19th century, and this is just to say that when you're in Europe, you always look back. I mean, I do it, and many painters have been doing it. That it's really important to know where you come from, what is your tradition. So there, you know, yeah, this is painting of Titian. So what was important here, it's also to show you that there is a lot of portraits with the domestic animal, and I also play around with it. Next slide. So this is one dog I've been shooting in a place at Abu Jani and Sandeep Koshla's house. Next one is the portrait of the photo of Sandeep Koshla, and next is the painting. Yeah. So this is just to show you that I use a lot what is around the people. So dogs, animals are very important to include in the painting because it gives also a kind of something more personal, painting more personal. Next slide is just a detail of the dog. This is a painting of Velázquez, the son of the king on the horse. And just to show you, next slide is actually something quite close. So this is a previous work. Yeah. Again, so this is again a equestre portrait, a portrait on the horse, and that was to show this princess of Hyderabad that she asked me to paint her like this. So it was connected to all the historical background of Europe as well. Next slide is Las Meninas from Velázquez. It's one of the most famous court painting of Velázquez. I want to show you first some details of it. So again, the way it was painting was quite efficient and simple. The way that he was painting the faces of the people and the clothes. Next slide, yes. Yes. So to go back to the history of this painting, it's a court painting, but it puts a lot of question in the Western history, because oh, sorry, I forgot. I also wanted to show you those paintings that I have been doing earlier in 2002. Those are also some interpretation of this big painting. So the court portrait was always something important in my work, even before India. Next slide. Okay, so again the portrait of Velázquez. So there was a portrait who was ordered by the king to represent the princess who was supposed to succeed. But then the painting has changed with some time, because actually a son just born after the princess. So then the painting has to change the meaning. This is something really important in those paintings, in this court painting, that always it has to tell stories and it means something. It's not just to paint the princess and that's it. It's also at the same time a way to talk about who are in this painting, the role, or who are they, you know, because at the first plan of the painting, it's the backside of the canvas, and what is on the backside of the painting is actually the small square where you can see the face of two people, and it looks like a mirror, and it could be a mirror, or it can be a window, or no one knows really, but and it's actually actually the queen and the king. So all this painting puts a lot of questions. Why are there so much in the backside, and what is he painting? And all this is close to the Western tradition as well as the Indian tradition, because you also tell many stories in your miniatures painting. And I wanted to say this today because I feel it important. Next painting is a painting of Holbein. He's a painter from the Flemish school, from north of Europe school. It's a totally other way to paint. There is a lots of details in these paintings, and he's representing not anymore the king and the queen. He's representing the people who are selling things. This is completely new in this in this time in Western. Before, in the 16th century. It was all about religious painting. So it was all about gods and goddess, and then the perspective had changed to a king's portrait, and then it changed again to paint the everyday life people, and I wanted to show that to you. Next painting is some paintings of the Flemish school. They are also important in my research because they show the details of and the complexity what could be present in a painting It's not completely the way that I'm looking to paint. As I said, I'm more looking to paint in an efficient way and in a simple way. Here there is so much details on the face that it's for me not really what I'm looking for in my own perspective. But it's very interesting to compare this to the Indian miniature, and I would like to show you that. Next slide. All the details of the clothes. Yeah, this is a painting of Gustav Klimt, and this is again to tell you that in my country the tradition of the motifs has also been quite present. But yeah, next painting, next slide is actually a detail of one of my paintings with where I use a lot of Klimt inspiration. And next slides are actually Indian miniatures, not really miniatures. It's incrustation on the palace in Dungapur, and here it's in. I just wanted to analyze briefly the body is not really showing up there because everything is showing up through the details, through the motifs, and that was something who actually was really important for me in my discovering of India. So, and next slide is also showing this, that all the body is actually appearing, coming up through the motifs and the details. Next one is a miniature where you can where actually the perspective as we think when you're from Western culture, like you have when there is something which is in front of you, it's big, and when it's behind, it should be really small on the painting. It's nothing like that here in this painting. All the perspective is suddenly became flat, and the surface became on the first plan. So this is again to tell about that the motifs are as important as the person who are representing in this painting. They came exactly at the same level, and this is what has inspired me a lot in my research. Next painting is a portrait of Kiran Kher, and this is what I said. The motif is taking almost the whole space, and the face of the lady is almost disappearing through the motifs. So my work is all about theory. I work in a series. It means that I keep the same format so far. I use the same way of painting. I use oil painting on canvas, and I use also the same way of technique. So here it's an example of what I do. All the white who you can see from the painting, the flowers, the white flowers, are actually the empty canvas. I use a silicone technique where I paint on it. I paint the empty canvas before I paint, and then I put the painting again on the top, and then I remove all those parts, and they make appear the white, the blank, the white canvas. So this is meaning something for me. This is meaning as well as the. I'm a woman. I live in India, and I was very amazed by sometimes this tradition of the Jali marble of the Purda, where the women stay inside the house and they look through the streets. And actually, when they look through the streets, they have always some flower spots from the architecture blocking a little bit the way to look outside, and that no one can see them at the same time. So this is to express this woman's condition from the tradition Maharajas, and this is also to show up that. Sometimes I'm a bit. I don't know what to think. I have some blank in my understandings of India because it's not my culture, And all those blanks that I can't fill up with painting, I just would like to show them nude, naked, with the empty canvas. Another important part of my work is the embroideries that I use. So this slide is showing a detail of a typical embroidery. The embroideries are as well coming from my own tradition again, and the Indian tradition with the Mughal embroideries. And next slide is showing some embroideries done by women. In France, long time back, 1 century ago, because now it's not really keeping, this tradition is not really keeping, the women, just before they got married, when they were actually girls, they were doing this embroidery to mark their own bed sheets, table napkins and all, to mark their name on it. And then they do this kind of work, and this is the transition time where they became a woman. And this is exactly where I am right now. I am just 25, I'm just between this age of being a girl and coming through a woman, maybe soon. So next slide is some details of embroideries, typical French embroideries. And I use also those embroideries for my work. Yeah, this is Christian Lacroix's clothes I wanted to show you. Christian Lacroix is a French fashion designer, and he's using a lot of embroideries in his work. Next one. And also a little bit of Indian tradition. This is at the factory where I'm working. I'm working in Gurgaon with some fashion designers who actually are French and Indian. So it's again a mix between the two traditions and culture. Sorry. And so this is how we proceed. I roll up the painting and we stitch directly on the painting. Those embroideries work is more about, we can go for next, are more about a communication thing. It's not really to embellish the portrait. It's nothing to show like how important are the people that I paint. It's more like to be every day with someone who has some ideas, an Indian guy, and I work with him, and I show him my painting, and I am able to, I have some ideas coming from my own references, but he also does have some ideas, and it's all about communication. So this is some details of the embroidery work at the factory. This is actually to illustrate this example of communication. This is a work I've been doing with Gaurav Gupta. Gaurav Gupta is a fashion designer from New Delhi. And he actually accepts to embroider his own painting. So that was a really interesting aspect of this work, that I let him work on his own portraits. And this is the communication side of it. So this is Gaurav Gupta looking at his painting and embroideries. So this is the painting without the embroideries before, and then with the embroideries. But it is his own creation. My work is all about superposition. It's layers and layers and layers and layers. First of all, it's because I use oil painting, and oil painting is a technique that you have already to do more steps. One is not enough. So the technique is already like that, but also the fact that I use the blank canvas, which is coming up on the top again, and then on the top of all that complexity is the embroideries. It's a way to show up that one of the most important things in India for me was the complexity and the fact that I try to understand with my own keys what can be India. So the layers were appearing to me very clearly with the architecture, with the society, the old caste systems, as well as even the cake from the bakery shop. And today there's this journalist who was asking me what do you like the most about India? And I answer two things. I really enjoy the complexity of India because it makes me think a lot. And the second one is the hospitality. and the hospitality is also related to my own work with the simplicity of paint, the simplicity and the joy to paint. So this is just some example of the layers painting, the painting without, and then with the the empty canvas which is coming on the top of the painting, and others slides are just some more images of the new work that I'm showing up at the Alliance Française Art Gallery. So, do you have any questions?
Okay, I'll start. Could you please tell us that when you paint these people, ordinary people on the street,
yes,
and when they look at their own portrait,
yes,
because most of them are not really used to looking at their own portraits,
yes,
and it's a different style of painting,
yes,
and what's their reaction to this painting?
You know, I think which is really interesting. It's I go and I sit there with them, and suddenly the whole market is coming around me to ask me if I can paint them. They want to keep the portrait for themselves, and they are really happy. I think that a white girl is painting them, and it's a way to exchange, you know. So I asked them to write their names, and then I put up the work in the exhibition, and they came with their friends, and they showed where they were, and it was something like, yeah, part of communication, because there are some things that you can really find with a portrait, with the fact that you spend time to just sketch, and that you can't have with just a click, just a photo, or just to say hello, namaste. It's something completely different.
How did you get interested in India?
Why? Okay. First of all, I came to India in 2003 because there was a studying travel with my teacher from my fine art school, and to be honest, I was really I didn't know what to think about India. I stayed not for enough time. I stayed for a month. I was traveling, and I didn't see anything. I didn't understand. That was so far from what I knew, what I experienced. I was young. I was 18 years old. And then I wanted to come back to India, to stay longer and to try to understand. This is why I am in India. I just try to understand another way to be, another identity, another culture. And this is why I'm here. Just try to understand. Yes?
All pervasive motive forms, flowers that you use. Does it have any significance apart from just being a painterly motive or decorative device, flowers?
I can't hear. Are you asking me if it's the motifs are also used in France?
No, I want to know whether
yes?
You are sort of investing these motifs of flowers.
Yes, sure.
With anything else apart from their decorative quality or decorative character.
Yeah, also, you know, those work with the embroideries or the motifs are also, I also try to reflect the personality of the people that I paint. So when I place flower, it's because I feel that flowers are showing something, maybe sensitivity, or it's also important as a decorative aspect, but it's also, yeah, there are some meanings also for the motifs. When I use birds, it's also to show a little bit of life, and flowers are more still and sensitive, so it's more for that, yes.
Your surfaces, in a way, find consonance with the personality you depict. How come it is not reflected in the common people?
Well, you know, this work of the common people is actually a work that I have been doing in 2004, and I stayed in India for 4 months, and this is what I had to say after 4 months. But I am in India since now 3 years, and this is why the painting became more complicated, because I have much more experience. It's not enough still. I still have lots of blank, and there's many things that I don't understand, but I try.
You use the same flowers or motifs with the people who belong to the royalty and people on the ordinary, street. But what is the reason using the same? What is the common connection between the two?
There is no proper connection. I think those motifs that I use are also to just because the personality of the people is nothing compared to what they belong in the society. I don't think so. I think that maybe I had this feeling for common people, and I had actually the same feeling for royal people, men coming from the royalty. So this is it, and this is also also as a completely decorative point of view. Sometimes there is no meaning really. Yes. Yes, oui.
Je peux vous poser une question en français?
Oui.
Vos œuvres semblent traduire les couleurs, les senteurs et les ambiances de l'art. Est-ce le but de vos recherches et de vos œuvres?
Okay. I just translate.
Yes, please translate the question as well.
Yes, I just translate the question. So he's just asking me if my paintings are showing, they seems to show the colors of India, the smells of India, the impression of India. Is that what I wanted to show? Yes, it is, of course, but the colors, yeah, in my previous work, I use a lot of the very bright color that you can find in the streets with the saris, or in Rajasthan, or anywhere you go, there are so many colors who are actually catching your eyes so deeply. And this is, that was really difficult for me to go out of it. Because I am this is really, you know, it's the level 0 of the view of India. The colors, the embroideries, the people, the streets, everything. The movements, the horning, and everything is like catching your attention. Of course, I try to do something Indian, and this is why there are so many levels. And otherwise, in France, I could never paint like that, never ever, for sure. So yeah, I think I try to show my experience of India. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
I'm just, I saw your exhibition in
Sure.
Delhi, and I'm just wondering, I mean, this is just a question which I want to ask. Why embroidery? Because as a portraiturist, the Western tradition is more about textures, colors, and tones. And you've been talking also about the embroidery tradition in Europe, with the lace and things. So when you come to India, what made you kind of take embroidery as a deep motif as a signature of
Yes.
What was the thing that was driving?
Okay.
Is it your link with passion?
No, it's not. You're right. I mean, the slide that I show about the way that the motifs in Europe has been, I mean, the people have been really interested by painting the motifs out of the textile, and they paint it. I didn't paint it. I paint some of them, but I use the embroideries on the top of it. First of all, the embroidery came to me like a very important for me. Just when I was outside the streets, when I look all around me, the embroidery was just everywhere, and this is why I choose to work with it. But again, to go back to this topic, it's more to share something with people. My work is all about logistics, you know. I go to the people I met, I spend time with them, they agree or they don't agree to sit for me. It's taking a long time, but it's a lot of communication. And then when I work from my studio, I am by myself, but then again, I start again to confront and to speak with the people. And the communication is what is really important. I as a foreigner, I'm in India, and I try to paint an Indian character. I try to represent the best way I can someone who gives me his time or her time. It's a really long process, and I choose one topic. If I was going away, like painting the village, I can do it, it's not a problem, but it's just that I try to show something who makes sense. So this series is actually making sense, because it's for me, the modern India of the people who are doing something. The Nawab Patodi is kind of an icon, you know, like for example, the embroiderers, they all recognize him straight away. They are like, oh, Nawab Patodi, because he did something for India. He showed up the Indian modernity, the power of India in the cricket. Alik Padamsee is doing it in another way, in a cultural way, with the theater play, and Gaurav Gupta is doing saris. Fashion designer is doing saris, but he's also doing it in a Western style, and this is what is going on right now, and this is what is interesting me. It's this cross point where I feel that India is right now between tradition and modernity, and no choice has to be done. It's just there. So I wanted to show this aspect, and I feel with the people that I was choosing, it was showing that.
So I would like to thank Marion. I would like to thank to the Chandigarh Lalit Kala Academy, and especially Diwan Mana, the chairman. I invite you to go to see the exhibition in the Alliance Française, and thank you for the communication. Okay.
The artist of the day, Marion. Isabelle Normand, la directrice de l'Alliance Française. The chairman of the Lalit Kala Academy, Mr. Diwan Mana. Dr. Alka Pandey, ladies and gentlemen, friends. After a long time, I have been able to sit through a lecture without losing interest. And that is something which is rare, because maybe my attention span is not very good, or maybe the lectures I've heard lately are not very good. But here I was all eyes and all ears. And the presentation which was before us was multifaceted. It presented not only the work of Marion, but also the work of great artists. And the fact that some of it went over my head, but still I could gather the fact that she has spent a lot of time in India and has been amazed by the complexity of India, as she put it, was really the single most important factor which was brought out in her portraits. And she is obviously very impressed with the personalities whom she has painted and she's met. And she's brought out their personalities through her own way, which is before us with all the motifs and the decorations. But the fact that she was able to speak about these paintings and about her art, I think by calling her here, Diwan, you've done a great job, because the fact that we've had a series of events through the Lalit Kala Academy recently with different kinds of personalities involved, and then different kinds of subjects being discussed is very important, because I see before me a lot of young people who are artists in the making and who are budding and obviously have a long way to go, and along with them a lot of senior people who obviously know their art and know the subject very well. And it's a good mix of an audience which has come here today and which was also present at the previous occasions when we met for Lalit Kala Academy's events. I think this is a good series which has been started off, and I think we should encourage the Lalit Kala Academy not only by helping them out logistically and whatever I can do in that regard now or later, I would definitely do so. And also by being present here, you know, whenever something like this happens. Some of us obviously have office, we get late, but even if you come late, I think it's important to be present, because if you come, whatever you catch is something which, especially for the young people, it will be of value and you'll be able to pick up something very good. I would like to congratulate Marion for this presentation and also for her art, which is obviously going to grow, and she's going to go places, and she's already exhibited in Delhi and other places. She's been to Hyderabad and wherever else. She mentioned a few other Indian cities. And I would also like to congratulate Alliance Française for their contribution, not only for this event, but also for the events they bring to us from time to time. They have some great exhibitions on at Alliance, and I've been a student of Alliance myself. I have a special connection with them, and whatever I can do to help would continue. I would also say that I think the art and culture scene in Chandigarh is picking up, and although it may be a slow movement, but this movement is on and it's going to be unstoppable. I think if we all get together and put our heads together, what else can be done, and give our suggestions to not only to Diwan, who's the chairman of the Lalit Kala Academy, but also to the other two chairmen of the other two academies, that is the Sangeet Natak Academy and the Sahitya Academy, of course. So we have these three chairpersons and chairmen who, who can contribute a lot if we give them our suggestions, give them our help, and continue to give ideas to them. And we would, of course, on behalf of the administration, whatever can be done would be done. So my congratulations once again, and thank you so much.